Welcome back to the channel where Arsenal news never stops, and today we've got a mix of breaking updates, heated debates, and major transfer revelations you won't want to miss, so stay tuned until the very end because every detail matters, and don't forget to smash that like button, drop a comment, and help us reach 300 likes so we can keep pumping out the freshest Arsenal content straight to your feed. First up, let's dive into the wild transfer saga that saw Nicholas Jackson leave Chelsea for Bayern Munich in a dramatic deadline day move that almost collapsed before being resurrected at the last moment. Bayern swooped in with a loan agreement worth £14.3 million for the 2025-26 campaign, and if Jackson hits the required number of appearances, Bayern will be obliged to pay Chelsea a staggering £56.2 million to make the deal permanent. At one stage it seemed like Chelsea would block the transfer after the injury to young striker Liam Delap, but with Mark Gillou recalled from Sunderland to reinforce their attack, the green light was finally given. Reports suggest Jackson had fallen out of favour with new Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca, who reportedly lost confidence in the forward's ability to fit his system, making his exit logical for both parties. Jackson marked his fresh start with an Instagram post that immediately got traction when his former teammate Noni Madueke commented, "You deserve it, brother," showing the tight bond between two players who both quit Stamford Bridge this summer. While Jackson heads to Bayern, Madueke completed a high-profile £52 million switch to Arsenal, meaning Chelsea not only lost a promising forward but also strengthened a direct Premier League rival. Together they scored 24 goals last season, a tally Chelsea will now be desperate to replace, and the biggest twist is that Jackson will actually be available to face Chelsea at the Allianz Arena on September 17 thanks to UEFA's rules, though Harry Kane is expected to lead the Bavarians' attack. Now, let's switch gears because Wayne Rooney has made headlines by sending a blunt message to Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta after the Gunners suffered a narrow but painful 1-0 defeat to Liverpool at Anfield, a match decided by a sublime free kick from Dominic Szoboszlai. On his new BBC Sounds podcast, The Wayne Rooney Show, which also airs on YouTube and iPlayer, Rooney didn't hold back, praising Liverpool's mentality, composure, and title-winning experience while questioning Arsenal's approach. According to Rooney, Liverpool showed why they're favourites to win the league by grinding out a tough victory, while Arsenal looked timid and failed to seize the opportunity. He said that if Arsenal had shown more bravery and pushed harder, they could have left Anfield with at least a point, but instead they played too safe and wasted a golden chance. Rooney added that the pressure is mounting on Arteta, who has been backed heavily in the transfer market with big money signings, and that this season could be now or never for him to finally deliver the Premier League title. Rooney's comments carried extra weight given his history with Liverpool, a club he admits he despised visiting as both an Evertonian by heart and a Manchester United icon. He confessed that Sir Alex Ferguson often sensed how emotionally charged Anfield made him and sometimes chose to bench him for trips to Merseyside. Rooney also revealed he was relieved Liverpool didn't make the 2008 Champions League final against Chelsea because facing them would have been unbearable. All of this underlines how personal the Anfield rivalry has always been for him, and his words will sting Arsenal fans because they spotlight what critics already fear, that Arsenal still lack the killer instinct required to dethrone the very best. Moving on to brighter news for Gunner supporters, Piero Hincapie's move from Bayer Leverkusen to Arsenal was finally confirmed on deadline day, giving Arteta's backline a much-needed reinforcement. The Ecuadorian defender, just 23 years old, arrives on loan with an option to buy for around £45 million, and insiders report that the expectation is the deal will become permanent next summer. Hincapie, who has over 100 appearances for Leverkusen and played a key role in their stunning Bundesliga triumph in 2023-24, is equally comfortable at centre-back or left-back and is already earmarked for a 5-year deal starting next season. In his first Arsenal interview, he revealed he was immediately convinced after a single conversation about the project, declaring that he wants to help win trophies, bring pride to the badge, and leave a legacy at the Emirates. Interestingly, his decision was influenced by former Arsenal midfielder Granit Xhaka, his ex-teammate at Leverkusen, who spoke highly of his years in North London. Hincapie said Xhaka gave him nothing but glowing reports about the culture, the fans, and the vision of the club, which helped tip the scales in Arsenal's favour. Currently with the Ecuador national team preparing for games against Paraguay and Argentina, Hincapie has his eyes on making his Arsenal debut against Nottingham Forest once the Premier League resumes. He describes himself as brave, fast, confident in carrying the ball, and eager to become a leader on the pitch, all qualities that Arteta desperately needs to strengthen Arsenal's defensive core. With his ambition and raw determination, Arsenal fans can expect fireworks once he settles in. This is Arsenal time, and we've just scratched the surface of what's shaping up to be an electrifying season, so don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you think about Rooney's comments, Jackson's Chelsea exit, and Hinkapie's arrival. Do you believe Arteta can silence the critics and finally bring home the title, or will the pressure break him? Stay locked in with us for all the twists, turns, and breaking headlines as we follow every step of Arsenal's journey. Come on, you Gunners! Now let's start with the roller coaster of a deadline day that saw Nicholas Jackson's saga twist and turn before finally exploding into headlines when Chelsea and Bayern Munich struck a deal that had looked dead and buried just hours before but was revived with lightning speed once Chelsea made the decision to recall Mark Gillu from his Sunderland loan to bolster their striking depth. And with Liam Delap's injury forcing the Blues' hand, this became the domino that made the entire Jackson transfer possible. Bayern agreed to take him on loan for the 2025-26 season with a £14.3 million fee up front, but the Real kicker is the obligation to buy clause which will activate at a jaw-dropping £56.2 million if Jackson reaches the required appearance tally, meaning this move has every chance of becoming permanent. And in truth, it looks like a lifeline for Jackson, who had clearly fallen out of favor under new Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca, who reportedly lost trust in his ability to execute the system he wants.